This is going to be the next build. The AMT previous, I believe, Lindberg, Plymouth Belvedere, super stock. I want to say that I think this was a Lindberg kit before, but I could be wrong. But I bought this kit in a bag, in a Ziploc bag. It was a bag kit, and at a model show. So got a good price on it. And inside the bag was the end flap from the box. So it will look like more or less like this. I'm not sure. So here's the body, which is a nice, nice, crisp and clean. There's no flash or anything on this kit, and I think this is more of a modern kit within the last, I don't know, 15 years, 20 at the most. I don't even think it's that old. So I'm not surprised that it's a nice clean mold. So I kind of like the squarish body of the car. So I think that's what appeals to me. I like square cars like that. So that. Actually, I'm going to put this over here on the other side. And here's the chassis. I don't know if this is for the race car or if the stock car, the regular car would have that bracing or not. I'm not very sure. So I know you guys that are Mopar people, you would probably know that. So I mean, if these are race only, then if you wanted to build this car stock, then I guess that would be an issue. But I just don't know if that's stock or not. So, but it has nice engraving. I want to say this has a little bit of a twist or a warp in it. It was, like I say, it was crammed in a bag, and it's been sitting in a bag for I don't know, a couple years maybe. So it might have been fine when I got the kit, but leaving it stored in the bag, which in the future I may not do that. I might store it in some other way, because I think the bag, when it was all crammed into the bag, was forcing it in a certain position. It may have warped it. But live and learn. So, but yeah, this is just crisp and clean, no flash, ready to go. Very well done. Everything is going to be separate. The exhaust, the front rear suspension, all that stuff obviously is going to be separate. Here's the interior. I don't think that's a race-only interior, but obviously it looks like it's going to be a 4-speed transmission in there. This is smooth. There's no texture on this. There's texture on the bottom though, so that could be like a rubber mat maybe for the race car, or I guess you could replicate carpet with that in some way. And it only has a gas pedal, so maybe the other pedals are separate. But it's kind of funny how that transmission, or where the shifter goes, is like attached to the side of the transmission hump. I mean, it's not in the center. It's like an afterthought. Oh, let's just put it over here. It's awfully close to where your leg would be if you were using the gas pedal. But I don't know, maybe that was a Mopar thing at this time, or that's a race-only option. Here we got the inner fenders. Those have some detail with some hoses or electrical wires on them. Those are hood hinges, which I never use. These are that's the radiator support. Nothing there really. Here's the firewall, and it's okay. It looks well detailed for what it is. It has some electrical wires and stuff molded in. I actually don't like that, but most model kits do that. My opinion is leave it smooth, but if you wanted to add that wiring, you would be better gluing wire on there, and making it look like it was, wrapped in there and stuff like that. You could do that just like you add plug wires and stuff, and it would look more realistic. But trying to detail these thin wires out when they're molded in, it's just a pain. Sanding them off often is an option, but I don't see getting sandpaper in all those areas to get those off. So we'll see what happens when I come to that. There is a stock type wheel, just 5-lug wheel. I want to say that's a Mopar wheel from the way it looks. So it is specific to the kit. Here's the inner door panels. I don't know if those are stock or not. I'm not familiar with this car enough to tell you that. Looks like the armrest would be separate part. That's nice. Looks like be easy to detail out with the straight lines. You know, you could paint those a different color. You could hit them with a chrome marker. Lots of things you could do with that. Here's the dashboard. Kind of simple, which is fine. Radio delete maybe that's just the plug for where the radio would normally go. This is a race car. There's no detail in here, and let's check the I don't see a decal for the dashboard, so yeah, there's no decal for that. So I'm thinking there must be another way to bring out the detail on the dashboard. This is a cartograph decal sheet, so that's a good thing. So that's what we have there. Even though it was a bad kit, it did come with the decals. Shock absorbers. Spindles, front spindles. Now this car, you can alter the suspension height. I'd already previously looked in the instructions, and they have like stock height. I think in the front you can raise the front end to make it look more as far as a race car, where usually, you know, sometimes on those old cars the front was higher than the back. And then in some cases you can lower the suspension, so you get these little spacer parts and these blocks for the leaf springs. I want to say there's three pairs of spindles in the kit, I believe is what I saw, but we'll come across that here in a minute. Those shocks there that we're looking at, obviously those are the rear. And here we've got the intake manifold, which is a dual carburetor. I guess that's some kind of cross ram or something intake. And the headers, of course. And this right here, I believe, is the drive shaft, not support, but you know, that keeps the drive shaft from flying out from underneath the car if it breaks loose. It's like more of a safety type thing on a race car. Here's the seats, rear bench seat, front bucket seats. I think the other seat might be loose. Maybe we only have one front seat. That's not good. I'll have to check the instructions. Oh no, they're both right there. Sorry. That's what happens when you're looking through the phone instead of looking around the phone. So there's two horns, and there's the armrest for the interior. That's funny. Yeah, there's two seats there. Here's some wheel backs. Nothing special there. Here's some more wheel backs. I'm going to say these are for mounting the wheels on the spindle. That might be a simple way to replicate brake drums or something. I'm not sure. Nothing unusual there. Front K-member, of course, for the suspension. This is the rear valance panel in the back. It does say Belvedere is engraved in there. I don't know what this is, but it almost looks like a license plate with some kind of design on it. Rear differential. Maybe, I don't know what that is, a Dana 60 maybe, or not sure. Those are probably the front suspension or an alternative for the rear if you raise or lower it. Sway bar, I think that's for the front. Radiator, that's the support for the torsion bars. Rear leaf springs. Here's another pair of front spindles. Here are the two torsion bars for the suspension, drive shaft, steering wheel. Nothing else there. Here's the engine. From looking at the valve covers, this is a 440. Does have the manual transmission. There's the heads, the oil pan, the fan, master brake cylinder, no power brakes on this car, distributor, window washer motor, window motor, timing cover, upper and lower radiator hose, fan and belts, or belts and pulleys. Not much to this car as far as the engine goes, but I think the detail is pretty good. And the transmission, yeah. So that's the starter there. This has got to be one of the biggest air scoops I ever saw in a car. I mean, it almost looks like a surfboard or something. It's so huge. But there's upper and lower. It's a two-piece. So you're going to have to, well, it's not a two-piece. Maybe there's two alternatives. Maybe there's more than one version. I kind of like this one. I like that groove in the middle, but I'm not sure. I'll have to wait until I paint it and see what might look best. Here's the carburetors. I'm going to guess those are Carter AFBs. These are probably some gauges like the tachometer and something else for the, I guess that would go on the dashboard. There's a small chrome part there, that's probably the coil. I believe these are the air cleaners for the carburetors. Kind of thin. So here we have just regular hubcaps if you wanted to put those on there, on the steelies that came with it. Front and rear bumper, front grille. This piece here I believe is part of the grille. Actually, it probably goes above this or in front of it. This part attaches to the hood. So here we have the dashboard. So I don't know what the stock dashboard looked like. So I don't know if that's only stock or only racing. Here's the wiper blades, or wiper arms. Those are, those are for the taillight, I believe. That looks like the alternator. Maybe that's another coil or something similar. The gear shifter, rear view mirror, outer door handles, which are separate on this car. Here's another carburetor. Maybe that's for the stock engine version or something. Here are the mag wheels, which I really, really like. So I'm pretty sure I'll be using those, because those are really nice. You only get 4 tires with this car. You get some skinny tires for the front, which do they say something on them? Oh, let me turn it over there. Pro Track and Competition front. So that's those. On the back, of course, you get a slick because it's a race car version, and that says Goodyear on it. Here are some, I'm not sure what those are unless they're air cleaners or poverty caps or something. I'm not sure. There is 4 of them. So that might be what they are. It's for just poverty caps for a stock version. So maybe you could build like 3 different kinds of wheels. You know, you could go with the hubcap, poverty caps, or the racing wheels. Here's my chrome air cleaner, which came off the chrome sprue. And here is the rear taillights, molded in red, so you don't have to paint those or do anything with them. Maybe there might be the backup light in the middle. And that's it. I mean, we could take a quick look at the instructions for anything weird, but I don't remember seeing anything unusual. It's pretty cut forward. But here you can see where they say raised suspension, which is a lawman race car, lowered suspension, or normal suspension. So you do get 3 choices on that, or you can mix and match. And then here you can see the spacers to lower the rear suspension. And there's nothing unusual in this. So the other pedals are a separate part. And this glass, which I did not show you because it's all in a plastic bag. So that's pretty cut and dry. It is a choice on that hood scoop. I was thinking maybe somehow it's like upper and lower, but it looks like you do get a choice. And then of course they show you all the choices for the wheels. And that evidently that is a small poverty type cap. And then the stock rims, which are, and that looks like the rear of the wheel. And that's meant to be like some kind of, it's either just to mount the wheel on the model, or it's to represent a disc brake or a drum brake, most likely a drum brake in 64. And then here's your color callouts. But yeah, so I mean there's not a lot to it, but that's okay. There's plenty of room for modifying the kit and making something else out of it. To be honest, I'd like to build the race car, but I might build this into something else, because I have in my mind I might want to paint it a different color, and I'm kind of locked into painting it white and metallic red here. So I'm not real sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to think about it, which sucks, because I want to really get into this kit. I bet building it out of the box is the easiest straight line way to go, right? But sometimes your mind wanders, and now I just like this body of this car. I can get more of these. I mean, these kits are available, not necessarily in this, the Lawman ones are a little hard to find, but this kit's been released so many different ways, and irrelevant of the decals, you're basically getting a good car. It's just a matter of, like, there's no full exhaust in this car. I mean, all you're getting is the headers. So there's no exhaust. You almost have to make a race car out of it. There's no dual exhaust, no single exhaust. It's not molded into the chassis, of course, and all you're getting is headers. So you would have to make your own exhaust. And like I say, you'd be limited to trying to make it a stock car, but you could make it a street car, street racer, or something like that. And I'm more steering towards that rather than a straight out race car, but we'll see. I like that it has the 440, because a lot of these kits, you know, everybody wants to put a Hemi into every Mopar model ever made, and that's fine. But I don't mind seeing a 340 or a 440. You know, I don't mind that. It gives a little something different now. So I'm definitely glad it came with the 440. So that's it. It's going to be the next project. Another bagged kit. And there is nothing special about the glass, just the headlights, rear windows, side windows, and then the front rear glass. It does have the these visors in it. That's kind of, I'm sure there's a street version of this car, because I don't think a race car would have visors in it. But so that's what it is. We're going to see what we get. And I'll try to keep you apprised on the way. I might post at least one video showing progress like I usually do. I don't make videos every day. It's impossible. I work. So I make them when I can. I can't think of anything else. So this is an introduction. We're going to do the Belvedere. If you got any thoughts on what to do, or if you built one of these kits, let me know in the comments what you did. I'd like to check yours out to see how you did yours. That would help. Or if you know something about this kit or whatever, you got a suggestion, that's fine. And we'll catch you on the next one. Later.